Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kenna and I am your favorite Cameroonian YouTuber based in Douala, Cameroon. So if this is the first time you're clicking on my channel, on my video, you're very welcome. On this channel we have a lot going on. I do a lot of sit down videos talking about my opinions on different things, different societal issues. I do vlogs where I share with you how I take care of my home, where I like to go to hang out. Like I just share you my journey of life in Cameroon. Okay, I share with you my journey of life in Cameroon. So if that is something you might be interested in, please click on the subscribe button. I'll be very grateful. That said, today I want to talk about something that I feel it's a discussion that has to be had. Yes, it's a discussion that has to be had. So for me, I'm just going to go straight up and say, for me, I feel like the majority of our parents did not teach us about marriage, did not prepare us properly for marriage, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like this is the case because if you go back to people in our generation, in my own generation, you will notice that yes, our parents thought they prepared us for marriage, but I feel like they did not do it properly. Okay, so if you go back, like in my house, for example, you know, I always use my house for an example. In our house, my mom would teach us how to do our chores, teach us how to cook, to clean, tell us that when you get up in the morning, you're supposed to do your devotions. When you do your devotions, you're supposed to, everybody has their own chores to do. These people wash plates, these people cook, these people do that. And that was good and fine. And I will not blame our parents as well, because if they taught us according to what they knew, it was just what they knew. So they were teaching us, how do I want to put it? It was how they grew up, right? So normally you're going to, anything your parents teach you is what you're going to hand down to your own generation. And that is even the case with me. There are so many things that I do because I saw that this is what my mom did. An example is cooking every day. That's just one thing that I learned from my mom. You cook every day. Not that anybody was complaining the food is not fresh or anything, but my mom used to cook every day, and my mom had a job. So every morning before she goes to work, she was going to cook before going to work. And then till when we grew up, and then we started cooking as well. But that is just it. So my mom had taught us how to cook and clean. Okay, in my house, for example, the girls were mostly in the kitchen. We cook and wash plates, and then the boys would do things like clean the house, clear the grass in front of the house, weed the places and things like that. You would never really see me dry cleaning or see me cutting the grass out, because it was already like gendered. Boys do this type of work, white girls do this type of work. It's actually a miracle to think that my brothers can even cook. It's just because they really wanted to do it themselves, so that's why they even learned. So yeah, that is it. And I'm in no way going to fault our parents for doing that. It's just because that is what they know, like I said. And then in some homes, I even know homes where they would tell the boys things like, boys don't enter the kitchen. Why are you going to the kitchen? The kitchen is for women. So that is, in our own way, in our parents' own way, that is how they thought they were preparing us for marriage, because they knew that as a wife, your main thing is to ensure that your family eats, to ensure that your house looks clean, to ensure that everything goes well. And for the guys, your main thing is to do the manly things around the house, like break firewood, probably dry clean the house, and then provide for your family. So those were the dynamics. Okay, but when I got into marriage, I got to learn a lot, and I discovered that, oh wow, so many things are just coming in my face, and I wasn't prepared. I wish I was properly prepared for marriage. I wish I was properly prepared. You see, in our society, a lot of times our parents will not talk about relationships. I feel like even having a friendship with your child where you can understand that, you know what, this child has come to an age where whether I let her, how do I put this, whether I say you should have a boyfriend or you should not have a boyfriend, the child is going to do what they have to do, what they want to do. So what do you do in that case? You can only talk with them, create a friendship with them, so they can be open, so that you have that chance to tell them that, you know what, even if you're with this guy, don't let him do this to you, don't let him sleep with you, don't let him do this with you. So in my head, I felt like my parents had prepared me properly for marriage, and then I got into it, and there were so many things that I was seeing, and I was like, oh my god, these are things that you really need to talk with about to your child. I was talking about the whole sleeping thing or dating thing. A lot of our parents decided to just shut it down. You can't have a boyfriend, you can't do this, you can't do that. But understanding teenagers, you would know that a teenager, if you tell them go this way, they are going that way. So you, instead scolding them and pushing them down and things like that, they will just hide things from you. They will do those things and just hide things from you. Very few will be the ones who will be scared and be like, oh no, I don't want to do this thing. My mom said it's not good. My dad said it's not good. I should not do this. But majority, peer pressure and all that, they are going to go ahead and do those things. So why not bring your kids close to you, make them to feel comfortable to talk to you. If something is not right, they come and talk to you. Yeah, so I feel like there's so much more to preparing for marriage, more than just cooking and cleaning and washing. I feel like there is so much more that I wish they would have taught me before I got into marriage. First, homemaking. I say it all the time here. Making a home, putting a home together, deciding what goes here, what goes there, what to eat, how to manage your home. That is a whole thing that I just saw my mom doing, and I thought it was easy. I never got it. I've said it so many times here. I never knew how it really was till I got married, and I took over 2 years to balance, guys. My husband would give me money every month end, and it's like, Kenna, this is money for the house, because when I met him, he was giving weekly money, because I was like, no, I'd like to do monthly because that is also something I saw in my home. My dad wasn't giving monthly like that, but they're buying in bulk. So I thought, okay, if we try to do this, it's kind of like buying in bulk, it's going to be easier. So like I said, and that's a good example to just show that we learn from what our parents do. So I decided we should be doing monthly. But see, guys, my husband will give me monthly money. Not that the money was small, at that time we were even just 2 of us. He's going to give me that money, but guess what? Yes, he will give me the money, but in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, everything is finished. We still have 2 more weeks to go. I was struggling with things like that. So I feel like that's something that I would like to teach my child, or like it's going to be something nice if our parents can show us as well. Like, it's not all about cooking and cleaning, it's also how to organize yourself to get good results, how to budget, those are things that I would have loved if they taught me. I got to learn on the job. And there's this thing that our African parents do. They don't talk about relationships with you. They don't talk about homemaking. They don't talk about anything when it comes to marriage. And then when you bring somebody that you want to marry them, they want to give you now a crash course. Some people will just be saying, oh, you have to do this, like, and you cannot educate somebody in that short time. Like, do this. It's a lot of information, plus the fact that this person is going to get married. It's overwhelming. So majority of the time we might not even keep some of those things. Like, if I tell you that I can remember a lot of the advice that people were giving me around my wedding, you have to do like this, do like, I cannot even remember, because it was coming at a time when my brain was choked up. There was so much going on. But if it had been like a life lesson since from when I was baby, they're telling me, okay, now you have to do like this, these are the way things go, this is, you have to do like this, try to do this and do this, it will make so much sense. So that is just one thing. Also, the sexual part, a lot of our parents, they want us to not to have sex before getting married. They don't talk to us about sex. I cannot even tell you, I cannot lie to you, I only got to talk about sex when I got sex education in school, guys. My parents for one day never sat me down to be like, okay, Kenna, you are now 12 years old or 13 years old, your body might be feeling in one way when you're feeling like I never had the talk from my parents. I never had that talk from my parents, from anybody in my life. And when I say this, a lot of people laugh at me, but guys, I only knew that you have sex and get pregnant when I was in Form 4. That was when I was like 14, 15 years old. Guys, all through my life, from Form 1, from the time I was born till when I got to Form 4, when I was 14, 15 years old, I thought that if they kiss you, you are going to get pregnant, guys. I seriously thought that. I thought that if they hold you too close, you were going to get pregnant. If they romance you and touch you, you were going to get pregnant. Okay, that was what I knew. I didn't know that some 2 parts had to come and meet before you get pregnant. I never knew that. It was only when they taught me that thing in school, reproduction, that is when I understood, like, oh my god, this is what happens. So imagine me in that ignorant stage. Nobody has told me that this and that, and then I get a boyfriend, and then the boyfriend starts talking with me, and the boyfriend starts telling me I'm going to listen to him because he's the one teaching me, and the boyfriend realizes that this girl feels that if I kiss her and touch her, she's going to get pregnant. Oga will just tell me that, yes, so if I kiss you and touch you, you're going to get pregnant, so let's do the do, let's use these parts to do the do, you're not going to get pregnant. And then I get pregnant and I'm in shock, you get. So we have to educate our kids, talk to them about sex. I know when I think about the fact that I'll have to talk about this with my kids, it is crazy, but no matter how uncomfortable it is, that is one discussion that I am not going to joke about. I definitely would have that discussion with my kids because I know how important it is. And it's not just about the sex talk. There's a lot when it comes to sex that we really don't like talking about, we're all shy about, oh, we don't want to talk about this and that and that and that. No, there is a lot more when it comes to pleasing yourself, ensuring that both parties, sex is not a one person thing. Sex is for two people. Oh my god, I keep saying that word. I hope that this video will not have a problem. Like, it's for two people. Two people have to be pleased. It's not because a lot of our parents taught us, not my parents' space, like I said, we never had the sex talk, but talking to people, I've seen that a lot of our parents, women in particular, they thought their children like sex is a man's thing, it's to please the man, just open your legs and leave him to please you. But that's not it. So you want to have that kind of discussion with your children, like it's a two-way thing, so that your boys too have it in their minds. Because guys, I'm not going to lie, majority of the guys or boys that grew up in Cameroon, they feel like sex is for their pleasure. A lot of women, because of our society, a lot of women pretend like, oh, they don't like sex. So a lot of the guys feel like it's their thing. They just come, get off, and they go. They feel like it's just for their satisfaction. Some of them, even when girls, you're struggling to tell them, no, you have to do this, you have to do that, the guy does not see why, because for him, he feels like you're enjoying it anyway. So you get, so if we are educating our kids and you're telling your boy that you have to ensure that as much as you're enjoying it, because it's easier for you as a guy to enjoy it, the girl too is supposed to enjoy it. If our parents had taught our brothers and their sons like that, sex will not be one of those big problems in marriage. Because I'm telling you, sex is one of the hugest problems in marriage. We have made this topic to look like one thing that we are not supposed to talk about. It's a taboo. If you talk about it, it means that you are rotten. If you talk about it, it means that you're bad. It is still a thing. Even when I go to certain places and I talk freely about it, a lot of people are like, oh my god, backpicking, you don't spoil, and things like that. We don't have to be mystifying this whole sex thing. Like, no, it is a natural thing, and we have to look for a way, no matter how uncomfortable we get, to talk about it with our kids. Another thing is we have to show love to our children, show love to them, make them to see that they are enough, they are beautiful. A lot of us grew up in homes where you never hear parents say, oh my god, you look beautiful today, you're so beautiful, look at how nice you are, praising our kids. No, telling our kids we love them. No, we want to make our kids to feel loved, know that it's not a man or a woman that can make you to feel loved. Make our kids to basically know that they are catches. Like, because a lot of us are kids, they grow up in homes that there is no love. Not that their parents do not love them, but just that their parents don't show them the love that they feel they like, just that their parents don't show them love like that. So they grow up not knowing what love is, and then they come now to know love from one girl or one boy, and then they start feeling like they'll die without this person and things like that. But if you teach your child to first of all love themselves, your child knows that, you see me, I am everything, I am beautiful. Your child is confident. You raise a confident child knowing that I don't need, it's not this your love that you're giving me that is going to make me to be happy. I can be happy by myself. I love who I am a beautiful person. If you don't want me, the next person will have me. Like, we need to teach. That's another way of preparing your child for marriage, because when your child gets into the marriage, your child doesn't start feeling like, oh my god, I will die, like this man is my everything, without this man. Like, no. We also have to teach our children how to be adaptable, how to be flexible. This is one thing that we come, and it's only when at the wedding party or a few days before the wedding, when the child tells you want to get married, sometimes you have to be patient. If he talks so, she don't. If he do so, she don't. You get for those are things you have to teach somebody. And another way of teaching people is by showing examples, right? Show that you have to be patient. Everybody is not like you. Those are things that you have to be teaching your kids. Because I feel like this is another reason why a lot of marriages are just chakaraing and breaking every single day. It's because our parents did not teach us that we have to be patient, we have to learn to be flexible. No. Because first of all, if you look at it, our parents in the first place were not flexible like that. Majority of our parents were not flexible. So they always used to use this line, I'm the parent is always right, and things like that. So you're already teaching your child that you are not flexible. So how do you expect now to start advising that child, when you go to marriage, be patient, be flexible? The child is going to copy what you have shown them, that, oh, it's either my way or the highway. We have some parents that when they say A, whether you go up, you come down, you do what A is A. What they said, what they want is what is going to go. That is what you're teaching your child. How then do you expect this child to come into a marriage and be flexible, come into the marriage and be patient, come into a marriage and be adaptable, learn that things must not always go their way? What did you teach them? You taught them that everything is supposed to go my way because I am the parent, because I am the this, everything is supposed to go my way. So that is Those are just a couple of things. We really did not learn a lot about marriage from our parents. So majority of us, we learned from our environment, learned from maybe movies, learned from what we saw our parents doing, not like them teaching us, putting out in being intentional about teaching us for marriage. No, we just learned from here and there, learned from the coming of social media, learned from social media. And that's why I'll tell you that a lot of our marriages are breaking, because we really do not understand what marriage is. We really do not have, how they say it, I don't want to say have training. We really they have not brought us up in a way to understand that in a marriage, this is the way marriage is supposed to go. I know some people will be like, even if they teach you from now to next year, you can never be prepared for a marriage until you get into the marriage. That is completely true. But there are so many things that I get to deal with today that I'm learning on the job, that if my parents had groomed me, if they had taught me like, okay, Kena, these are some of the things, I would have had a smoother ride. You get, I would have had a smoother ride. Like, just see, with the whole problem of managing a home, it took me close to 2 to 3 years to actually balance. Now I'm balanced. I'm 8 years in marriage, and now I can say with my full chest that I'm balanced. I can look at this amount of money and I know that this amount of money can take me for this and this time. But before, I had to struggle, you get. I had to struggle to figure out. You have to train your kids how, like, oh my god, we really, this generation, we really have to train our kids so much. We need to instill a lot of good habits in them. We need to instill them, talk to them about the importance of prayers. There's some parents that really were not praying in their house, and then suddenly when your child is going to get married, you start telling them, hey, you have to be prayerful, you have to pray. Excuse me, how do you think that is going to work? But anyway, guys, this is what I think about this whole thing. I feel like, honestly, our parents did not prepare us for marriage. In their head, they thought they did, but I feel like they could have done a better job. I'm not trashing parents. I'm just saying what I think, because these are some of the things, and these are just a few. Marriage has so much that it entails, other than cooking, cleaning, and providing. Like, there is so much to marriage that we have to teach. We have to teach our kids, men and women, to learn how to support, learn how to provide. I don't want to go back again to the provider and support thing, but if you want to understand more what I mean by saying this, you can just go ahead and watch that video. I did a video on being a provider and supporter in a marriage. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Do you enjoy contents like this? Let me know so that I can continue putting out videos like this. Thank you guys very much for watching this one, and I am going to see you on my next one. Love you. Bye.